Very short video that illustrates how one can use the image size command in Photoshop. Please see my handout regarding image size. That'll explain a lot more than I'm going to be able to cover here just in a minute or two. Today, though, with the video, I'm going to size an image for the web. I'm going to size an image to print, and if I have time, I'll do a fixed target size crop, which also sizes the image. If you read my handout, I state that you really need to know the end use of your image before you size it. For me in this class, since we're doing distant learning, a lot of it is just going to be for the web. So let's do that first. So I'm going to grab one of these images and drag it over my Photoshop icon here. And now we see the image. And I have view rulers showing. If you go to view rulers, you can see that I have that. I always have those up, and I can see these rulers in both axes here, and it's telling me that this image is probably at 72 dpi since the image seems so big in terms of inches. But let's check that out right now. Let's go to menu bar, image size, and see what we have. Sure enough, we have the resolution is set at 72 ppi, that's pixels per inch, and this is quite large here. It's like 3 feet by almost 4 feet at 72 dpi. It's really not that high res of an image, but again, if you read my handout, we say that we should basically double this ppi here for the web. I'm going to do something here. This is something we're going to do. This is an important thing here, this resample checkbox. I'm going to uncheck that. And what that does is it links width and height to resolution so that now we have the zero-sum game and we can't lose any information. I just want to find out what we're working with here. I'm going to make this 300 dpi or ppi. And we see that really we have an 8 by 10 size print. Again, prints should be done if, as the handout states, prints need to be done at a resolution of 300 ppi or better. So here we can see that we can indeed size this this one for print. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that because I wanted to size this for the internet first. So let's just see what we want to do here. For the internet, I like to make my images. First of all, I double this to 144, and we can see here that we can make an image 22, almost 23 inches by 17 for the web, which is plenty big. I'm going to turn that off now. I'm going to check resample because I'm going to actually throw away some information now. For the web, I like to make my images about 15 inches by 10. This is a different aspect ratio here. The iPhone's a little boxier than my 35 millimeter camera. 15 by 10, somewhere in this realm is probably the size that I would do this image for the internet. So I'm going to hit OK, and you can see that the image actually got a little smaller. So that's because I threw away information. So, and that's okay because we're going to save this for the web. So I've sized it to 14 inches wide. That's 144 ppi. I'm going to save as now, and I'm just going to add a W here for web. So that's the way I like to name things. I like to rename things so I'm not throwing away the master image. So I still have that master image there, and here's my web version. You can see that. Okay, let's size the second one for print. So I'm going to grab the second image and open it up. And we sort of looked at this before, but here's a fresh image. Let's go to image size, and once again I'm going to unclick this resample and put 300 in here just to see the size that we got. Again, it's almost 8 by 10, and I'm just going to tweak this a little bit. 10 and a half is what I like to do for my prints, and we let the height fall where it may, and we hit OK. And this hardly changed at all. We're keeping most of those pixels for the print version because, again, we want it to be at 300 ppi for a print. This 10.5 is designed to print on a letter size piece of paper, which is 11 inches, right, on its longest dimension. So I'm going to hit OK. Again, I want to rename this. Let's say Save As, and I'm just going to add a P here for print. And go to the desktop, same place. And that's why you want to rename things so that you don't lose that original file by adding that letter P. Lastly, there's one more interesting way to do image size. I'm going to open this third image up here, and I'm going to go to the crop tool. And if you look up here, this is called the options bar up here. Every tool in the toolbox has different choices up here in the options bar. I like to set mine to width, height, and resolution here. And again, this is my standard size for web-based images. I do 15 by 10 at 144. You can see here that it's cropping the image a little bit. Because this 10 by 15 matches the 35 millimeter, which is what I'm used to, and the iPhone's a little boxier. So the aspect ratio is a little closer to square than a rectangle. So now I've set 15 by 10 at 144 here, PPI. I'm going to straighten this a little bit based on my stove here. I'm going to go to the straighten command, drag it across and line that up with my stove. It makes it level in that case. And I'm going to double click inside, and you can see that it got smaller. So this fixed target crop size that I'm doing now, it's great because you can make all your images the exact same crop. Let's just check it here. Image size. There's 10 by 15 at 144, so that's really good. I'm going to hit OK, and again I'm going to save as, and I'm going to put a W here for web. This is my web-based sizing. So I'm going to hit that and save that, and we have our original images. Just by adding that letter, we still have our original master images here, so we didn't overwrite them, and we have our new sized images here. So that's it for now. I'm going to have to come back and talk about this stuff a lot, so don't worry about it. I will return to it again and again, but something to get you started. Okay, talk to you later.